Dear Chloe, I've had a lot of thoughts and feelings about the Atlanta spa shootings that happened last Tuesday. That was on March 16th, 2021. I thought about making a video last week, but I didn't have the words for it just yet, and I still don't, even now. I was debating a lot about what I should say or how I thought about things, but I decided to just do something a little simpler and spend some time learning about and remembering the 8 victims of the shooting. Delana Ashley Yaun Gonzalez, she was 33 years old. She and her husband Mario Gonzalez were getting a couples massage at the spa. They had been married within the last year, and she leaves behind 2 children, a 13-year-old son and an 8-month daughter. Paul Andre Mickes, he was 54 years old. He and his wife Bonnie had lived in Atlanta for 26 years. He owned an alarm company in Atlanta, and he was working at the spa at the time, and he was even interested in one day opening a spa of his own. His brother said that he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Xiao Jietan, also known as Emily, she was 49 years old and the owner of Young's Asian Spa. She had 1 daughter, Jamie Webb, that she immigrated to the US with. These are Jamie's words about her mother. My mom was petite and fierce. She was a feminist without meaning to be, and even gave me her name, which is rare in Chinese culture. My mom taught me the power of smiles and laughter. People noticed how happy she was. Please spend more time with your loved ones, like it could be your last day with them. Dao Youfeng, 44. Not much is known about her at the time. What we do know is that she started working at Young's Asian Massage in the past few months. Chung Park was 74. She worked at the Gold Spa. Everyone thought that she was going to live to be 100 years old because she was so fit and so healthy. She lived in New York for a long time with her daughter and her son-in-law, eventually moved to Georgia and was planning on moving back in with her daughter sometime in June. Hyun Jung Grant, age 51. She leaves behind 2 sons. One of them is Randy Park, 22 years old, and he had this to say about his mom. She dedicated her whole life to raising us, but even then, she found time to enjoy herself with her friends. I can't articulate or express in any way to describe what she was or what she meant to us. I could say whatever word that comes to my head for her, but it doesn't encompass a fraction of what she meant to us. He loved eating her Korean cooking, said that she was one of his best friends, and that she always danced even while doing chores around the house, and he learned how to moonwalk from her because she would moonwalk while vacuuming the floors. Suncha Kim was 69 years old. She was a grandmother who worked at the Gold Spa. She came to the US from South Korea seeking better education, better educational opportunities for her family and for a better life. She'd been married for more than 50 years and she loved to line dance. This is taken from her GoFundMe page. As an immigrant, all my grandmother ever wanted in life was to grow old with my grandfather and watch her children and grandchildren live the life she never got to live. She was pure-hearted and the most selfless woman I knew. She represented everything I wanted to be as a woman, without an ounce of hate or bitterness in her heart. Young Yu, age 63. She worked at the aromatherapy spa in Atlanta. She immigrated from South Korea to the US in the 1970s with her husband at the time, Mac Peterson. She was laid off last year during the pandemic and was happy to have work again, and her sons had this to say about her. Mom was an amazing woman who loved to introduce our family and friends to her home-cooked Korean food and Korean karaoke. We will miss joining Mom on her weekly Sunday routine to the grocery store and traditional Korean dinner. She was always kind-hearted and willing to help everyone she encountered. Hernandez Ortiz is the only surviving victim of the attacks. He is currently being hospitalized for his injuries. He came to the US from San Marcos, Guatemala about 10 years ago, and in 2015, his wife and his daughter were able to join him in Georgia. He sends money to his family back home and also provides for his wife and his child. Last time I checked, the GoFundMe page for his medical bills have raised about $355,000 out of $375,000, and the other GoFundMe pages have received thousands and thousands of dollars over what the original goals were to support the families as they grieve, settle affairs, and try to take care of themselves without their loved ones here anymore. I went to a Candlelight Vigil this week on Tuesday. It's the first time I've ever been to an event like that. One of the hardest things for me is thinking that when I read these descriptions for these victims about how they described their mothers, their grandmothers as kind-hearted, hardworking business owners that like to sing karaoke and go out dancing and cook food for their families, it just sounds like that's what my family's like. That's what my aunties are like. That's what my grandma's like. I don't really know how to end this. I have a lot of feelings, and I'm taking a lot of time and energy to process everything that I'm feeling right now. And I'm trying to look for ways that I can be helpful to other people that are in more need than I am right now. My heart goes out to the victims and their families for all the pain that they are going through right now. When I was at the Candlelight Vigil, there was a statue of Makwan-im, who's on my necklace. And when I went up to her to pray, like I normally do when I'm at the house, when I need to ask for protection or guidance, for the longest time I didn't really know what I could even ask of her, because after something like this, what could you possibly do? What could make this better? And in the end, I asked that the families could have some comfort, and I prayed that the victims could be at peace. And in the meantime, I hope that we are looking for ways that we can help so that we can make things a little bit better, hopefully. Sincerely, Chloe.